In August 2013, I created a Halo machinima for all my gaming buddies. A series I made using a video game engine from the popular Xbox game Halo Reach. This 8-episode series took me 22 months to write, shoot and edit, using a £20 USB capture device, an ancient laptop, and dialogue recorded over Skype calls. Now, these methods resulted in some pretty poor picture resolution, some odd quality issues with the sound, and to be honest, some cringe-worthy voice acting on my part. Nevertheless, I'm really proud to have gotten this series made. It features some of my best editing work and remains one of the most difficult accomplishments from my bucket list. As the series turns 10 years old, I look back at some of my favourite scenes.
To unload some cargo. They didn't want to risk damaging it while we were on manoeuvres.
This conversation features a piece of music from Halo 3, which in the official game had randomly been thrown over a fight in a slapdash manner. I remember being disappointed that the game didn't reflect the epic conclusion to the music, so I conjured this scene to have the visuals match the audio cue.
Can you repeat your earlier question?
Can we really pull this off?
Gentlemen, we are going to pull this off.
This was another scene I concocted after listening to the Halo soundtrack while I was working. The composer, Martin O'Donnell, takes a moment here to pause completely before dropping the beat. But in the official game, it's simply thrown over a random battle, again with no thought of editing or finesse. So I wanted to create an action scene built specifically around that beat drop.
Fire load, scout ahead, see if the coast is clear. And be careful.
Relax. I have eyes in the back of my head. Oh, hi. Contact!
Oh, for fuck's sake!
In this scene, the unit leader Retro is given an opportunity to kill the elite who tortured him. When he chooses to let him go, the elite can't comprehend why. I wanted this to be a demonstration that the elite's torture had not been successful. Retro executing his captor without mercy would have meant the elite had won. But Retro remains true to his own ideals, making him the victor in this situation.
Why?
If you have to ask, you'll never understand.
What is this? Mercy? Compassion? Huh! Humans, you are all weak. You do not even have the strength to do what is necessary.
Wrong. I survived your torture for days.
And yet you cannot pull the trigger. How pitiful. Your species deserves to die, and my people will see that they do. We will burn the last of your worlds and turn your skies to poison. We will chase you to the edge of the galaxy, hunting down every last...
Gentlemen, I don't know about you, but my business here is finished.
This conversation is about Spartans not being allowed to have families, but really the discussion is a metaphor for gamers who want to be good responsible parents without sacrificing their favourite hobby.
Well, I'm sure it's possible, but it'd be fucking hard, man. I mean, imagine the tug-of-war between doing this and being with your loved ones back at home. I mean, how would you find the balance?
There must be a balance in there somewhere, surely.
Yeah, maybe. But I reckon something would have to give. One or the other.
A little Easter egg here is that my character, in the white armour, features a video camera attached to the right side of his helmet. This is a nod to me being the one shooting the machinima. Another Easter egg is that my wife Elizabeth was the reason I first got into Halo. I never had an original Xbox, but she did when we first started dating, so I wanted to include her as the voice of an operating system.
Activate Resident AI.
Barclay Station online.
Transmitting security authorization. Confirm clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Welcome, Bioload. How may I be of service?
I don't even know why the date's
During a
so
conversation, I mentioned that a replacement Spartan called Dan fought with me in New Chicago. This is a reference to us playing co-op on the New Chicago map on a PS3 game we used to love called Resistance 2.
Ah, this must be the replacement for Spartan 211.
Oh, right. What's his name again?
Daniel. He's a good friend of mine. We served together at New Chicago. One of my biggest regrets is not creating a bigger role for the guy who voiced Admiral Stewart. Although his scene is brief, he delivered the lines so well that I wish I'd made him one of the main characters.
Retrieve it safely at all costs. That's an order. Understood? I said, is that understood, Commander?
Yes, sir.
Good. Our reinforcements are already en route. If you haven't located Ocelot by then, they will give you all the help you need.
I understand, sir.
Good hunting, Commander.
It sounds like I should have stayed in bed.
Blugger! What are you doing up? You're supposed to be in the medical bay.
The guy who voiced the character Blugger was originally written as a main character. Unfortunately, he dropped out of the project after we recorded the first episode, as he needed surgery in real life. I was still determined to include him in the series, so I created a couple of scenes that only required him to record just a few lines of dialogue over Skype. This allowed me to create a brief, albeit pivotal, moment for him in the final battle.
I have to get to Ocelot.
Ah, the holograms keep respawning! You won't make it!
Damn it, I have to try. We don't have much time.
Yeehaw! Someone call for backup?
Blugger, what the hell are you doing here?
Disobeying orders, sir.
I should have known you'd follow us.
Yeah, well, you can court-martial me later.
Forget it. I'm just glad you're here. Can you clear a path for me?
I've got your back, mate. Go for it.
Are you sure?
Go. Now! He's through!
The final battle is triggered by the main villain Ocelot quoting a Tennyson poem called All Things Will Die. However, I originally wrote the scene with Tennyson's Ulysses, which is arguably a more famous poem. But then the James Bond movie Skyfall got released and it featured Dame Judi Dench's character utilising the poem in the exact same way I had scripted, where the final line triggers an action sequence. I didn't want it to look like I was copying Skyfall, so I switched the poem from Ulysses to All Things Will Die.
All things were born, ye will come nevermore, for all things must die.
Move, move, move!
I really wanted the final battle to feel as epic as possible. Unfortunately, I could only round up 8 players to film the sequences I needed. As such, we all had to routinely switch between the good guys and the bad guys to create the illusion that there were more enemies on the battlefield.
What did I tell you about manoeuvring your warthog under enemy fire?
Shut up, move it. What are you gonna do?
I'm going back to Earth.
You can't be serious.
I'm completely serious.
The final scene ends with the unit leader leaving the team to face a court-martial. Rather than be a cliffhanger, I wanted this scene to have a sense of finality to it. It's a demonstration that things can outlive their original creator and can expand beyond their original mandate.
GD unit isn't about one person. It's about all of us, because we've all brought something to the table. When someone leaves us, others join our ranks. The names and the faces may change over the years, but our spirit remains the same. We're GDs through and through, and we'll never be too old to fight.
So that's the end of this retrospective. If you've watched this far, then thank you for taking this journey with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave you with this snippet of the goodbye video I made all those years ago when I sold my Xbox and said goodbye to the Halo community. Take care, folks, and until next time, wake me when you need me.